Hello. Good morning and welcome to live pre-market technical analysis here on Successful Trading. We are Wednesday, April the 20th, 2022. It is currently 5:49 a.m. Pacific time where I'm coming to you live on these pre-markets in Southern California. And while let's give a shout out to people across the globe. Let's say it is currently 8:49 p.m. in Singapore, 1:49 p.m. in London. Sydney reads 10:49 p.m. Osaka 9:49 p.m. And last but not least, in my beloved city of Douala, it is currently 1:50 precisely p.m. on this Wild Wednesday. We are here to tackle the analysis of the US equity markets. Definitely, if you have been a trader for a while, you may be familiar with the recent volatility in 2022. So while we prepare for that, we have three segments on here on the show. So actually, I had a brand new I don't know, setup or whatever that we want to call it. We want to say hello in the live chat to Latharia. So please, if somebody could confirm the quality of the sound for us so that we can get going. While we wait for that, so let's see. I must switch uh, a screen on here. Let's see. Okay, it is not showing it. That's fine. Hey, greetings, Miss Jane. How was that coaching session last night? Thank you for the feedback on the sound. Okay, very good. Let's without any further ado, there is a lot to cover. We are in earnings season, so by now, if you don't know, there is more um, a volatility. Volatility, it's a bad and a good thing. Volatility, if you look at it as a day trader, just mean that uh, the markets or the stocks are moving. So in order to make money trading options, we need stock to be moving. A lack of volatility where the market is going sideways or stocks are not moving that much does not lend itself to making money. But at the same time, while volatility is increased, that means that there is uncertainty about the direction of the market or of the stock, meaning you will have a tendency where uh, the direction will shift. We will not have sustained trends. It's easier for traders in general to trade sustained trends. Such trend, for instance, let's give you an example, right? Let's go on here. This is going to be a 1 minute teaching for today here. So a trend yesterday was a bullish trend yesterday, for instance, on QQQ. We are looking at the 15 minute chart of QQQ on here. And our traders on here, we teach you how to recognize this trend. With a very simple indicator, you can ask Miss Jane. She soon will be an expert into that. It's quickly and quietly learning to master that skill. So here's a nice trend on here, a bullish trend yesterday for over 3 hours. So this on here, this is a lot of money to be made here. Though it was a Tuesday, we prefer this type of trend to happen on expiration day because we specialize on how to enter cheap option contract on here in a day such as today. So let's see if QQQ will grant us with a similar trend. I'm not necessarily saying that the same direction, but a trend of any kind is something that's easier for traders to trade. For instance, on the 14 here, here's a trend. Is a bearish trend on here, meaning on the downside, right? So for beginners, option traders out there who may be catching this live pre-market analysis on Successful Trading, when the market is going down, we make money trading puts. When the market is going up, we make money trading calls. That's the basic gist of it, really. And if you are a beginner, I think this is the best place you can come to learn because I'm really trying to keep this teaching very simple to beginners. So let's see. if there are people out there. We will post the link at the end of the session on here for those who are interested in learnings about taking advantage of the option market, right? Because let's say in 2022, for instance, most stock buyers, guess what? They may find themselves in a big hole already in terms of the market has not been going up at all, but there has been plenty of ways to make money. Speaking of plenty of ways to make money, if we go to stock that are moving this morning, we use this easy scanner here. Easy, yeah, I mean relatively simple scanner on Finviz. You may be familiar with that. So if not, we'll be teaching you that. Lord behold, my goodness, a stock called Netflix is down minus 20, almost minus 28%, folks. Yes, this morning has lost $100 between yesterday and today. What happened? Well, earnings happened. That's what happened. And here I was looking at a chart this morning. I dissect the monthly chart for Netflix. Let's go ahead and show that here very quickly. So the monthly chart of Netflix, this is not something that, I mean, the market just doesn't wake up and just start selling a stock just for no reason. Here's the monthly chart for Netflix. The highest price here, November 2021, the stock is trading at 799 cents. Yeah, I spare you the 99 cents there. Yeah, you and I, we can agree on that. So $700. Look what has happened ever since. This morning, the stock is trading at a multi-year low. The last time that this stock was trading this low, as you can attest by this screen on here, well, I can give you the dates if you don't see that lowest price where my mouse is hovering. That was December of 2018, folks. But really, I mean, this part you can clearly see, right? The last 6 months, Netflix stocks has just been going lower and lower. Well, for people who, let's say if the investor bought this stock at $600, right now there's the name of that is holding a bag, meaning that you have substantial losses, right? So in 2022 alone, let's say in 2022 alone, started here at 600. Right now, it's less than half of that. It's less than a third of that. And as I'm speaking with you, since this earning yesterday, I made a post on Twitter saying that, hey, we may open at minus 30%. We are not that far, folks. We are at minus 28% on this. And so far, Netflix has not shown a support level. I mean, 250 is like that round number or anything, but it dropped 260, 250 here. We are going to be opening in about 34 minutes or so. So in today, so how can we take advantage of this? We can take advantage of this trading puts, obviously, if the setup continues to be like that. But there's no assumption onto the direction of Netflix on here. We will rely on our ability to read the chart, yeah, on the 15 minute. And in this case, we can use even 5 minutes, but this is going to be very, very volatile. And my game plan on here on Netflix is I'm going to be not so aggressive in the early part of the day, but as we approach the later in the afternoon, and especially tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, which is tomorrow's Thursday, the day after tomorrow's Friday, we may even find better trading opportunity. For traders who, let's say, who usually gamble before ER, this is one of those where literally there will be plenty of 10 baggers on the put side for people who are trading, let's say, the 260 calls, right? The 260 puts rather. So let's say yesterday, for instance, just to give you an idea here of the massive, how massive this is. The 260 puts yesterday, they were going for 74 cents. Well, they are bound to start $10 in the money, so they will be easily worth at least $10 on here with 3 days before expiration. So thus turning $74 on real money into over $1,000. Yeah, that's massive on here. So Netflix is one of the really the big mover. And along with it, yesterday in our Discord, I believe we took advantage of a proxy trade to Netflix, meaning a stock that is in the same industry and that tends to react when Netflix reacts. That's Roku. Roku yesterday was bullish while in the intraday, right? Yesterday when we were trading intraday, and we took advantage of that. If you were to carry that trade overnight, guess what? You may find yourself making money on puts to this morning. The other stock actually, as shown on here on Finviz, that's also a proxy to Roku, is Disney. because these are three streaming services. These are the three leading services. I mean, let's not disregard the Apple part in the US, right? So Roku this morning is down -7%, has been pretty much at that level since yesterday. But at least we can see that Roku has a support around 108, 109. So maybe it could be bouncing. But again, that's a dangerous stock on there. This stock could well be, by the time we get into Friday, Roku could well be trading below $100. That's not even me going on a limb there. Here's Disney. The chart for Disney has been not that attractive really in 2022 so far. I mean, we are looking at the last 3 months on here. The highest price has been maybe 155 or so, but we have been on a downtrend over the last 30 days or so, from 145 now this morning finding itself at 125 and 80 cents. So now these are the stocks that are moving in pre-market, as we have been coaching some of you. If stocks are moving in pre-market, then we know that we can use a 5-minute chart from our day trading to be able to gauge the direction of those stocks. Speaking of stock, other stock, if you have a stock that you would like us to take a look at, please post it in the live chat, and I will gladly do so in here. All right, so Netflix and Roku, Disney, they are the three bearish movers this morning in the pre-markets. All right. Next on here, still on the same Finviz scanner, we can actually look at the other direction in terms of what's bullish this morning. So in terms of bullish stock this morning, what do we have on top here? ASML, not familiar with semiconductor equipment and material. This stock is up 5.57%. Okay. SeaWorld is up 5%. Okay. SeaWorld is an interesting chart because it's trying to break out of that $75 resistance. That's what the chart is showing us. So normally that's a stock that's I would say that, hey, only two things can happen, right? That's true. But this morning in my study, looking at the option chain, there's not that much open interest on this stock, so I will give it a pass. Meaning that in terms of setting up option on here, there's not that much liquidity, so it's nothing something really worth considering, at least from my point of view. Let's see here. STM, another semiconductor technology company here. This one's from Switzerland. After posting a bottom, I mean, because how do we see that is a bottom there? I mean, you guys cannot quite see that. Let me bring this up. So we were looking at STM. So here we go. So it's bouncing off of that 38 level to 39.28. So this is a stock that's if we go to its option chain, again, I'm doing this live, folks. Some of the stock I prepared for them. Some of them I'm discovering them at the same time as you hear, as pre-market is going along. This one only has monthly option. That's not a problem per se, as long as there is enough volume. So if we go on the call side, let's see what's being offered on here. The 45 calls, for instance, for May, they're going for 15 cents bid, 20 cents ask. Okay, that's my cup of tea. Right there. That's the only trade that I will be considering on here on that, because let's say if you're trying to go to the 50, that's too much. I mean, not that that's too much, but I like the open interest and the characteristic of the 45 calls on STM expiring May the 20th, 2022. So let's write it here as, and we are going to be posting this. I need to remember that inside of our Discord under the trade idea. So that's another advantage here. You get free trades here strictly based on my quick analysis of the markets here on the setup on the chart, right? Because how can we say that? Let's say in the case of STM, this stock that has reached the current level before, actually went lower than 38. It went between 36 and 37. That was in early part of March, and then rallied before the end of March all the way to $46. A similar pattern on here definitely can make us a lot of money on those cheap calls. Again, those are the May 22nd 45 calls on STM. If we can steal them, ideally for less than 20 cents, that would be fantastic. Okay. All right. So That's being said, it's currently, let's say 603. Let's say in the last section on here, what do we want to say? I have, yeah. Let's take a look at the overall market through the lenses of a couple of ETF that's we really like to take advantage of. Yeah, SPY is not one of them. So, no, I don't know. SPY is still fine, but I haven't traded SPY in a long time. So some of you may know it. So one ETF, a sneaky ETF here. It's difficult to trade sometimes, but I mean, recently has. I don't know if I'm saying that. I cannot say that I'm getting my groove on it, but for some reason, I think looking at my research the other day, I've been making money on IWM here. But the setup, what just setup do we have here? I mean, it resembles the other ETFs in the market, right? Here, it tried so far in 2020, in 2022. This is what we have. This is a daily chart, right? This is the daily chart. So, like most stock, the recovery, there was an attempt to recover, let's say starting mid-March, right? That stole literally the end, the last day, the couple of last day of March, so around 212. Since then, a downtrend all the way to previous support area. Again, support resistance are basic fundamentals that as traders we need to know, right? So how do we know that this area, for instance, is support? So you see these prices bouncing off of here, and then you look left to see previously how has the stock reacted to that. We have plenty of touches here at 197.5. So yesterday we had this bullish candle on here, a green candle that closed above the EMA 8. That's my yellow line, right? Let me zoom in further. So, and it even closed, to be completely precise, it closed above the EMA 20 as well, right? So a confirmation of this trend here as the stock is gapping this morning to 203.20. That's huge for this stock. Trust me, if you look at the option chain for IWM, let me just give you some perspective on here, in case some of you may be holding the calls on IWM. So IWM, first of all, it has expiration on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So meaning it's exactly like SPY and QQQ. Yes, this is new for this one. They started this in October of last year, so that's something that's we haven't had the opportunity to stress as much as we did on QQQ, for instance. Let's see, the 203 calls yesterday, you could have gotten them for 32 cents, folks. Yeah, but in yesterday run, prior to them being in the money, because you know you don't need to be in the money to make money, right? So they paid 133% when the stock gained 2%. This stock doesn't need to gain that much. This stock gaining sometimes 1.5% will give you a cool 100%, and you can day trade this just in the same manner as QQQ. So the trade that I want us to take a look at today is from the weekly chart. Maybe, yeah, the weekly chart is better set up. So definitely we get confirmation on here as if we start posting higher highs above this natural resistance level, which are the EMA 8 and the EMA 20. Yeah, and you know, if you have been here with us, a crossover of the yellow line above the green line further confirm that bullish trend. But I want to bring our attention to the weekly. If we can get, I like some of these trades. We have had experience in the past trading IWM for big money on this trade. This trade is a relatively safe trade, meaning that we have plenty of time onto it. But the what's interesting about it is the cost of those cheap contracts. So this is the weekly chart on here. I mean, we can say, could we suggest that this has been on the weekly chart of since, let's say, January, since end of January, it has been posting higher lows. Yeah, that's one is, you know, let me break it down. Higher lows meaning that you see the lowest price here, January 24th, 188, February 187, but since then, when it's bearish, the lowest price here has been 191, and then we just recently, as I said earlier, 195. This wedge kind of trade here really could be the beginning of something. The beginning of something, my friend. When I'm looking at this chart, for me, I'll always look up all the way to the upper Bollinger Band, right? So it's a matter of determining how many weeks it could take for this stock to start trending as such. So I think one of the trades that we can take on here, you can decide either you give this 2 or 3 weeks. So 2 weeks will give it May 6, 3 weeks, no more than that, because after that, I mean, the cost of the contract will just, so we are looking at, let's say, either May 6th or May the 13th. So either May 6th or May the 13th, and in that case, we don't have to go all the way to the upper Bollinger Band. I guarantee you that. So let's say if I'm doing May the 6th, I can focus on the 215 calls, and if I'm doing May the 13th, I can focus on the 220 calls. Yeah, should this momentum here carry on? Because again, why am I suggesting this type of trade? I'm seeing things in pre-market, folks, that lead me to analyze this chart and see this trend as they're forming. So for instance, for May the 6th, the 215 calls of IWM, they are going for 25 cents as of yesterday. I mean, they may be a little bit more, but not that much today. And with Theta Decay, you can actually get them less than that. So those are the 215 calls for IWM for May the 6th. If we take a week later, actually, let me give you the quotation for the 220 for that same week, right? The 220, they're going to be cheaper, obviously, and they will be going for 7 cents and 10 cents. Yeah, right there, that will be it. But I mean, if I want, I can get a few of them, but really, for May the 13th, the 220, if we are to take a look at those, the 220, 15 cents, 19 cents. This is nice. They paid 58% yesterday just on a 2% move. So the trend on here, and again, the confirmation of this trade will be the stock price going above the natural resistance line, which are the EMA 8 here. The EMA 8 here on this weekly chart is, let's say, 202, right? It closed. As of now, it's trading above it. Yesterday, it was just shy of it, right? And the previous week, it could not get past 202.37. So it closed this week above that. We confirm that trade. So then the following week, we want it to go above, to close above 206.5 and then further up where does not seem to be that much resistance all the way to 220. So this is trade on IWM on here this morning. I know it's an ETF that we don't, at least those in my Discord room, they have seen over the last couple of weeks, I've shown that there were even days where IWM was moving bigger than QQQ. Those in the Discord, you can attest of that. And as I come back on here, it's currently 9:10 Eastern. So Miss Latoria is asking to take a look at Apple. Oh my goodness, Apple. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. I haven't. That's fine. Let's take a look at Apple charts. Okay, so instead of monthly, maybe not. Most likely the time. I'm not sure which time frame you want me to analyze it. Apple is just. I mean, Apple is both. It is the heaviest stock. Apple is. Well, let me put this. Apple is yeah, the heaviest stock in all of the ETF because Apple is in the Dow Jones, Apple's in the SPY, SPX 500, and also in the QQQ. So, meaning that it affects a lot, right? So currently, the trend, just like you open any chart for the other, those previously three stocks that I mean, the trend will be the same as on Apple here, meaning the yellow line has been sloping down since April, since the beginning of April, right? Prior to that, it went on a massive rally here all the way March the 15th from 150 literally every single day was green. I mean, oh my goodness, I haven't looked at the chart of Apple, I have to be honest, for a long time. So I didn't see this. Apple here puts on a show, folks. 11 consecutive green candles. Wow. Wow. That's okay. Could this be the beginning of that? So if that's the case, okay, fine. So from this price on here, the target price here, we can measure a number of days here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a similar run. I mean, it has a chance, definitely 175 and above. But confirmation of that is what? Just like here, right? The confirmation here, notice was that every single day the stock was going higher and it started with the stock breaking above that yellow line. Apple has not done it yet, so we can be patient on here. Apple, literally for me, I will say that is going to be bullish to start thinking about a similar run as we had from mid March to the end of March, when the price goes above the EMA 20, the green line there, just to be safe, which is 169.13 as of now on this chart. All right, So very quickly, I know that hopefully that's secure. That I know that there was another stock that's is dear to us on here, Nvidia. So here's a chart of Nvidia. Same pattern. Actually, Nvidia over the last 2 weeks, I can tell you that this stock has not moved because for us we have trying to take trade on Nvidia. Even this week, was it Monday? And then it got stopped, literally. And the funny thing or the concerning part about it was that QQQ was moving. Because yesterday, for instance, while QQQ was thrusting upward, I did not see that much. Nvidia really got stuck. So Nvidia is overdue for a run. And you guys, if you have been trading Nvidia for a while, here's an accumulation here or just yeah, that's how they call it, right? So meaning that the stock is building support. More the price not going down but it's not going up either. So when we have these phases of accumulation on here at support level, pretty much at this level, look where the price has gone. In 4 days, Nvidia can find itself to 258. It has done it here. So similarly, it has done it here. So yeah, if you ask me right now, if Nvidia over the next week or so, Nvidia can go easily to this white line, the 250 at least. So let's see. So that's going to be, let's say, over a week period. So that's let me go to the option chain of Nvidia on here. Should that, because it has shown support around this level. Absolutely, on 6 days it could not go. They could not get it lower than 211, and now trading at 221 in pre-market is gapping a little bit badly. That's one thing. Don't be fooled by some of the gaps on Nvidia. Nvidia is a stock that the pattern I've seen when it gaps like this. I mean, $3 almost, yeah, $2 on something. It's rarely sustained it. We saw that, when did we last saw that? We saw that on the 14th. Yeah, here was a gap on here on this day. And it actually reversed badly from 227 to 211, meaning the trade was on the opposite direction. Today is Wild Wednesday, folks. So that's wild, meaning that the market tends to go to extreme. So this gap up that we are seeing on here in pre-markets, I am going to be very cautious about that, meaning I rather be patient, as I mentioned, right? The name of the game for me today is being patient and let the setups develop very quickly on here. All right, so we want to look at next week the 29th. Nvidia calls should it start moving upward as it has been accumulating over the last more than last week, right? We have how many candles we have in this vicinity here in this area? 6 candles at the same level. That's ridiculous. So Nvidia is overdue big time, and these contracts are not even that expensive, right? I think the 250 there yesterday they were going for 97 cents. As I'm looking down on my phone on here to quickly access the option chain. The 255 they were going for 62 cents. So yeah, I agree with it's definitely worth taking a look at Nvidia here. It's overdue. Let's say what and again we will get confirmation of that uptrend as the stock move above. So the EMA 8, which is the closest resistance right now, that number is $226 and 0.5 cents, as you can see on my trading view chart. All right, last but not least, it's 9:16. We could not have a session without talking about QQQ. That's why I was going after IWM. Remember, if you were with us on Monday, remember we gave you a trade on QQQ. How is that working for you, for those who were not with us? So we recommended on Monday after the analysis over the weekend, actually. I think a couple of traders, Miss Latoria being one of them, they got this trade. They were the first one to get this trade because, hey, when you come to coaching session, we have plenty of time to dissect the market, to look at different things. So yeah, you will get trades. Maybe that's an incentive for some of you to come into coaching session with Telex. You can definitely plan your trades ahead of time. So for us, we said, hey, looking at the weekly chart, that's what we did on Monday, right? So we look at the weekly charts of QQQ and realize, hey, they stuck the ATR on the weekly charts like on the weekly charts $15 or above. So if we were to set up a strangle, then we will really be starting from a good place. I think for me, I ended up picking the 350, yeah, the 350 call, because remember there was a huge disparity between the puts and the call. But my friend, after 2 days yesterday, guess what? those 350 calls, they start really looking good. Again, the expiration it's on Friday, so we still have 3 full days left. So let's see on here, but doesn't matter. Even if you pick, let's say, cheaper contract on there, they have been appreciating on here. And the other part that's maybe I think we mentioned or didn't get to mention, while you have such a position, you can manage it by scaling in more as the direction is confirming itself, right? So that's the advantage of starting a position with a lot of time before the expiration. So 2 consecutive days of green candle on here, that has not been very frequent recently, folks. So far in April, QQQ has not been able to have more than 2 days of green candle. So let's be wary of that today as we are gapping up on here this morning. I'm still a little bit cautious, but as I've stated 3 times already, we will get confirmation of the direction of each one of those stocks as they go above, confirmation of the bullish trend as they go above the major resistance level. So yesterday, QQQ closed above the EMA 8, the yellow line, at 345.35. Then the next resistance is 348.85, the green line that you see there. That's the EMA 8 for us. All right, folks. Wow, I know it was fast. But I hope you got something out of this. We are going to try as much as possible to get you 3 pre-market analysis every single week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday. And why do we put them on those days? Because those days are for us day traders of QQQ option the best opportunity, because with 0 day to expiration, it provides access to very affordable option that anybody can take advantage of. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great trading session. Paydays is usually, they are usually today, Wednesdays and Thursday. Patience. It's better for you to allow the chart to give you confirmation before you fully get into a trade versus getting in. You can get in when you are not, the setup is not fully there, but do not put all of your capital in there. You can always scale in later on in a trade when you get full confirmation. Have a great trading session, everybody. We catch you on the next episode on Friday. Bye-bye.